Highways England admitted today it didn't have a plan in place to deal with an incident like the one last month, which closed the M6 for 24 hours and caused chaos on other roads around. They were giving evidence to a hearing into the closure.
Well, they couldn't get onto the motorway for 7 hours while the police carried out its investigation into the fatal crash, and they said knowing what they do now about how severe the incident was, they would have done things differently and are now devising planning on how to cope with incidents that are similar to that in the future. Mark Goff reports.
This was never going to be an easy day for the officials from Highways England.
No, it really is most helpful, but it still hasn't answered the question.
The event?
No, with respect, that's not the question I asked you.
They'd been called to explain to the Police and Crime Commissioner why an early morning fatal crash last month closed the M6 for 24 hours, trapped thousands of motorists, including a pregnant woman, for 9 hours, and gridlocked all the motorways around Birmingham. Today, Highways England admitted it doesn't have a plan to deal with an incident which would affect all the motorways around Birmingham at the same time. The M6, the M5 and the M42, known as the Birmingham box. It admitted it should have escalated the crash to a major incident sooner, which meant it could have helped vulnerable people who were trapped in the jam. And there's insufficient communication between Highways England and some of the local councils to alert them out of hours if there's a major incident. This report, written by Highways England after the crash, recommends drawing up a contingency plan for an incident on the M6, the M5 and the M42.
Can you tell me whether you actually have an incident plan already, or whether this particular plan is something that is entirely new and novel to you?
So we have very structured incident management plans within Highways England, and actually we have a crisis management process.
I'm sorry, that's not the question I asked.
Okay. So
it's not the question I asked. Is there currently, today, an incident plan specifically designed to deal with the M5, M42 and M6 area?
no, there isn't.
Thank you.
If there was a further incident today, and I hope there isn't, but I think that at the moment we'd have the same sort of disruption. It's a massive impact on the economy here in Birmingham and in the rest of the West Midlands, damages jobs and employment. Then the other thing it does, by people being stuck in traffic for 8-9 hours, it puts lives at risk. That is not an exaggeration.
We are sorry for the delays that people experienced in the West Midlands as a result of this tragic incident that took place that resulted in the loss of a life. We work really hard to try and get incidents cleared as quickly and as promptly as possible. The safety of the travelling public is of paramount importance to us.
Highways England will report back on how it's improving its procedures in 6 months' time. Mark Goff, ITV News.
Now you're watching ITV News Central. Still to come.